right. Thank you all for joining me. And before we jumped on, I was kind of, I guess, as they say sometimes on YouTube, I was sitting backstage having sidebar conversations and just kind of catching up with people, which is always just like really, really nice. But I had sent out an email on Friday, last Friday. And when I sent that email out, I was sitting at a friend's house, simply just going through email, trying to catch up, knowing that I needed to slowly start to integrate and bring myself back into the real world because I had been on vacation for 10 days. And I sent the email out and was like, hey, I definitely want to jump in and do a monthly check in for people that have access the Spiritually Fly app or are current active members of the Spiritually Fly app. Because I like to do these little check ins to just say, here's the theme or here's something I'm thinking about. And of course, again, to even have like some sidebar conversations and connect, but also to offer up a meditation that is really based upon the present moment because there's so many different practices and things that are inside the app. And now in the app, I don't do any live streams anymore. I just kind of like record pre-recorded content and upload those and kind of focus a lot more on the workshops and practices. But these monthly check-ins are an opportunity again to offer up maybe a theme for the month or the theme for the quarter, and then also provide a meditation or some type of practice to assist you to move through the next 30 days, or just to have as your own um, kind of place to drop into when you need it. And so when I sent that email out on Friday, last Friday, I had the intention of doing what our theme is for the rest of this month and actually up until probably like February 8th inside the app, which is Limitless Possibilities. But shit happens, right? Life changes. We are going through all the changes as a collective in the world, and especially here in the United States. So what I realized is that as I was integrating back into the States myself and really drawing upon the energy that I experienced while I was on my own personal holiday, that it was so important for us to pause and slow down before we react and move. Because we have to move, we have to be in action. But in order for us to be in action, we also have to really find a place, a moment to stabilize. And what I'm finding is that in order to navigate this new world that we're all living in, we have to pause, set some foundation, breathe, and then react. And that has to happen every single day. So let's go in and get grounded a little bit before we dive into some journaling. I do want to remind you, or I didn't say this at the beginning, make sure you have a pen and paper because we also will do some journaling. And if you don't have a pen and paper, you could just allow those thoughts to move through your mind and know that you'll have access to this so you can always go back at any moment in time. So go in and close your eyes and just start to take a couple of deep breaths in and out of your nose. And again, this theme for this session and this month check-in is just slowing down to realign, and from that place of alignment to move with purpose. It's all about pausing as we gather together. So allow the breath to flow naturally in and out of your nose. And as you do this, I want you to feel your hips grounding into the earth, the crown of your head rising all the way up towards the heavens. Just feel the breath moving in and moving out. And as you just kind of settle into this moment, I do want to share a few other thoughts before we dive into our journaling and our guided meditation. But it's so important before we again rush into action that we give ourselves these moments to ground. And what I've learned over the years, but what I've really definitely allowed myself to step into over the past, I would say probably the past week or so, because I have just like really cut everything off when I went on vacation, is to give myself all the time that I need and not to be stingy with my wellness, not to be stingy with my self care, even not to be stingy with the power of my breath. And in those moments when we find stillness, we are truly able to access the answers, the clarity, the wisdom, because we're able to fully and completely separate from the noise, the external noise, and even the noise that is inside of our own minds. We also have to make time to stabilize. And what is happening in our world today, right now, is like massive destabilization, right? It's massive destabilizing of everything around us. What we not necessarily is necessarily the norm, but things that maintain a sense of order, that are systems that can assist people that have less than what we may have, um, and of things that really aid us in coming together as a collective. But the odd thing is that within those places of destabilization, disruption, chaos, and crazy that is happening, what I am finding is that we are, as a collective, some of us, I should say, are starting to come together a little bit stronger. Now, with all of that energy moving around from us making those gestures of a collective to say we know what is important for, or we know and value human life in all forms, in order for us to maintain some inner stability, we have to pause. So I want you to, in your mind right now, as we kind of finish out this moment of stillness, is to just imagine yourself standing at the front of a door. And on the other side of that door is everything that you may have been calling in at the beginning of the year. Maybe it's your own personal growth. Maybe it's your purpose. Maybe it's a little expansion. But instead of rushing through the door blindly, I want you to see yourself pausing at the front of that door, gathering yourself, collecting yourself, breathing into the soles of your feet, your spine, your heart. And then I want you to check in with yourself at the front of that door, because you know when you open it, there will be some unexpected moments, people, things, places. So I want you to check in with your physical body. I want you to check in with your breath. I want you to check in with your soul. And then I want you to trust yourself to step forward, slowly opening that door. Not because you feel pressured to move forward, but because you feel certain and ready. And I want you to take another deep breath in. Exhale, empty out. And that energy that you felt around feeling stable and steady before stepping through that door is really what I want you to lean into tonight. So as you start to blink your eyes open, I want you to reach over and grab your pen and paper if you want to use your phone or just want to kind of like sit in stillness and listen to these journal prompts and reflections. Think about moving with intention rather than impulse. And the way that we do that is by fully and completely trusting ourselves, that inner voice, that aspect of pure clarity that is not about chasing, but more about creating space for you, your community, those you love to rise. So I want you to think about where in your life do you feel like you're being rushed or pressured to decide something? And know that you can always go back and answer these, but just give yourself a moment. Where do you feel rushed and pressured? So we'll take about another 15 seconds. And then the next thing I want you to answer is what would happen if you actually allowed yourself to sit with, breathe with all of what is moving through you instead of forcing the resolution? So, kind of what does it feel like to just allow yourself to sit, breathe, instead of forcing a resolution and an answer? All right. And then one more thought, one more thing to process. What do you need right now in this moment to experience a sense of clarity, groundedness, or even peace? What do you need to feel clear, grounded, and at peace? Um, And then drop your pen and paper, your notes. We're just going to do one of my favorite breathing practices that always helps me just find just this immediate place of ease. But it's also a breathing practice that is perfect for doing at night. We're going to do probably about 1 minute of left nostril breathing. So all you're going to do is take your right hand, you can use your thumb or your index finger, and you're going to close off your right nostril. And you're just going to start to breathe slowly in and out of your left nostril. And again, we're going to do this for about 1 whole minute. So breathing slowly in through the left nostril and out through the left nostril. Know that as you're breathing in and out, I'm going to encourage you to close your eyes if that feels comfortable, or just gaze at a point out in front of you. Keep the spine long so the crown of the head continues to lift up and the hips stay grounded in your seat. And definitely, if your eyes are closed, you can do an internal gaze. So you can bring your internal gaze right between your brow. If bringing your internal gaze right between your brow feels a little too intense, I want you to take your internal gaze down towards the base of your spine. So when you're taking that internal gaze down towards the base of your spine, it will assist you in feeling a little more grounded in the moment. About 10 more seconds, breathing in slow through the left nostril. Exhaling out. And then go on and release your right hand. And if you want to feel a little bit more grounded, or you still need that sense of steadiness to show up in your body, your heart, place the palms face down on your legs. If you have a personal mudra that you like to use, know that you can use that as we start to move into our guided meditation. As you continue to breathe in and out, again, feeling the hips grounding into the earth. Feel that sense of softness move across your chest. And know that although there are moments of disruption and chaos around us, this is an opportunity for us to utilize this moment in time as a portal. Because on the other side of these moments and times, it is your next chapter. On the other side, everything is there working for you. So in this moment, not just today, tomorrow, the next couple of weeks, I have to say over the next year or so, don't hesitate to give yourself moments throughout to pause, no rushing. Use these moments to gather all the answers, all the steps to fortify yourself in this world we live in. I want you to think about, in your mind's eye, in your grounding of this moment, what are some of your strengths? What are some of your top skills and talents? Is it the way you think, the way you approach life? It's the way you process. It's the way you show up, the way you give. Is it your voice, your words, your ability to gather and support, gather and lead? And as you think about all of those skills, talents, and qualities, I want you to once again see yourself standing at that door. And that door now is a representation of this portal. And as you stand there at the precipice, right, of this portal that we're stepping into, I want you to see the lights flashing, the wind blowing. I want you to see the chaos. But as you see the chaos at the front, I also want you to see yourself steady and stable with all of your amazing qualities, all of your talents, all of your skills, all of your beautiful God-given gifts. Everything that you need is already sitting inside of you, because that is what you're going to carry to the other side. And then I want you to see what you're leaving behind. Because in order for you to take that next step, in order for you to move forward, in order for you to fully and completely walk through this portal, there are some things that you cannot carry with you. They are not going to serve you. There are parts and pieces of you that may hold you back from being the force that you are. So as you breathe into this moment, allow a sense of peace, ease, and clarity to wash over you. As you slowly begin to step forward and step into that new portal. See yourself taking each step with grace, no urgency, but deep knowing that you are ready. You are moving with intention. You trust in divine timing. And clarity is there supporting you. You are moving with intention. You trust divine timing. And you have all the skills that you need. In order to move forward. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, empty out. One more deep breath in. Exhale. Go on and bring organic movement back into your body. Move in a way that feels most natural for you. Stretch if you need to, twist. And as you start to blink the eyes open, just a little reminder that as you move not only into your night, tomorrow, the rest of the week and month, the rest of the year, the rest of the 4 years, pause, listen, and trust your divine intuition. Make space for those that you love and care for. Remind them to breathe. And then collectively, we can take action. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for joining me tonight. And yeah, have a good one. Bye.